So when Africans were excited about President Donald Trump's election and him ultimately winning the presidency, right? Did they ever think they would fall into his hot water? Did they ever see themselves as part of the issue that is unfolding today? So let me just give you some small information, right? President Donald Trump got into office January 20th, right? Since then, he's signed about 10 executive orders, which include mass deportation and border securities, right? So far, though, they've arrested 3,500 migrants, I should say undocumented migrants, which has cast a massive fear within the migrant community, particularly African community. Now, the question is this: how does this event, or how would this event affect not only the undocumented migrants here in the US, but their family members at home as well? It's a very dangerous venture that we're about to take on, but quite an interesting one. So let's dive into it. Stay tuned, we'll be right back. Hello everybody and welcome back. My name is Moitinya and I'm a visual storyteller who happens to be visually impaired. If you're stopping by for the first time, welcome. If you've been here for a while, thank you. Do not forget to subscribe or click on the notification bell to be the first to receive any of our content that we produce. So this episode was indeed it's a heartbreaking one for sure, but there's so much to unpack, right? Family members are calling because they're very afraid. Family members in Nigeria are very afraid, or whichever part of Africa you're from, or even those in Mexico, wherever, they're very afraid as to what's currently going on in the US, right? There's a massive fear happening right now. There are people who've been living in the United States for maybe 30, 40, 20, whichever years, and they've never gone home because they don't have the documentation to do so. This means that they can go home, but chances are they won't come back. So as a result, a lot of them lost parents, siblings, and they did not go home to even see to say a final goodbye to their family members who passed away. So this deportation could forcefully send these people back home, right? That's a big deal. Now, President Trump is saying that the undocumented migrants are in the country breaking US laws. As a result, they have to be sent back to their respective countries, right? So currently, they are arresting on a daily basis over 500 people. And I'm putting up a chart right now so you can see what exactly is going on so far, right? The highest you can see on this chart is about 1,000 people being arrested on a daily basis. So that number is going to grow for sure, right? States like New York, Chicago, Atlanta, and Los Angeles are some of the places where people are being arrested. Now, where are we getting these statistics from? I just wanted to highlight that. It is from Immigration, Custom, and Enforcement, which is known as ICE, right? Not only are these people part of the team arresting individuals or undocumented individuals, there's also FBI as well, right? My producer is right behind the camera. Answer me, right? There's no make us say something now. Why are you sitting there just quietly? There's also FBI involved as well. So there's a whole team in this. There's lawyers involved. It is massively crazy. Now, I want to point something to your attention though. The reason why I'm doing this whole video in the first place is this. In 2023, Africans in America, in the US, sent money home to their family members. About 90 billion US dollars were sent home to their family members to take care of their family members, right? Now, they did this for just one reason alone. But I would explain something to my family members back home who may not understand why this is such a big deal, right? In the US, they have something called welfare, right? You lose a job, you're trying to get back on your feet, you have assistance from the government, right? In Africa, we don't have anything like that. You're on your own totally, right? So the individuals who are in the US, including my parents, cousins, the ones who are here, we are the government to our family members back home. So if you're looking at people who are undocumented or Africans who are undocumented and who are possibly facing deportation, then that avenue, that financial avenue is going to be closed. Now, the thing about this is, as I begin this episode, was this. When Africans were rejoicing about Trump's election, I don't know if they were aware as to what was ahead of them, right? And I was also keen in wanting to know why Africans are so in love with Mr. President Donald Trump. There were three factors that research unveiled to me. And the factors are, first off, they said, because President Trump doesn't really care much about Africa. First off, he called us, what did he call us? A shithole nation or shithole continent, right? The first time he was in office. And so people are believing that he won't interfere in Africa's politics, right? Because previous administrations did that. I think that's a plus in a sense, right? Other people believe that Trump is the Messiah of the Christian faith, right? I probably would get insulted for saying that, but he upholds the standards of what a family should look like, right? So he doesn't accept homosexuals, queer people, doesn't care about that, right? He's also pro-life as well. So Africans are very connected to that because, we know that there are countries in Africa that are heavily religious, right? And last but not least, and I think Trevor Noah or somebody must have talked about this, right? Everybody has a Papa Trump in their family. We have that authoritative figure in our family, something that we can identify with. So I think President Trump stands when it comes to that. Like, people relate to him because he's like this very tough guy, right? So a lot of Africans like that because it's familiar to them, simply because our president or the president in our respective countries are very much like that. So, when I was researching, I really did find that Nigeria and Nigerians, not all of them, but they were heavily involved in Donald Trump's win. What I mean by that is they were very excited, massively excited. For example, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the president of Nigeria, His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, congratulated Trump when he won, right? Now, the performer at the inaugural breakfast was a Nigerian, Nathaniel Bassey, right? Now, I also read from NPR, right? I'll put the article beneath this video so you can also read for yourself that somebody in Nigeria as well created, or rather composed, a song to honor Mr. President Donald Trump's victory. So yes, you can see that we were very, not we, but Nigerians were heavily involved, right? But the truth is this: where exactly are we going with what's happening right now in the US? I wish I have answers for you. I really do. I do know that with the current arrest that is happening, right? These officers are trying to avoid schools, they're trying to avoid hospitals, and they're trying to avoid, what's the last one? Place of worship. So I am assuming that in lots of churches right now, there'll be people who are undocumented just hiding. And I know some people who are also protecting undocumented individuals as well, or undocumented migrants as well, right? But for Africa, no. I think this is a season or a time for us to really wake up, right? To look at ourselves, reflect on our own values, reflect on our own respective countries' goals, reflect on what is important to us as people. Because we put somebody in office that is changing the trajectory, rather, of not only the Africans here in the US, but those who are back home are equally going to suffer if people are being sent home, right? Now, you are expecting me to tell you something very buttery or nice solution to the problem. There ain't no solution. What I will say is, for those of us who are going to church, go to church and pray so that your family members don't get caught up by ICE. That's all I gotta say. But I'm gonna open it up to a very respectful discussion. To my fellow Africans, did you see this coming? Share your comment below. I don't even have anything to say. Share your comment below and let's keep on this conversation going. Stay tuned for another episode. Thank you all for watching and we'll see you all again next time.